Cheers, man.
Cheers.
I see what you mean. This is like kind of weird. So I picked this out because this is Dewa Zakura,
Yeah.
and it's Kisetsu Gente no Kimoto Nama,
Mm.
and I thought it'd be good. It's the Sara Sara Nigori Naka Sakura Hana Ginjoshu. But
I'll tell you, like I was saying just a few minutes ago,
Yeah.
like before we started doing this, I don't hate it,
yeah,
but it's just like, for me, it tastes like Nihonshu soda.
that's a good way to put it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, actually, so normally we drink Junmai.
Yeah.
But this one is this one also has like the Jozo alcohol in it, so it's not
Yeah.
Junmai, so that might be one reason why it feels that way.
Yeah. So I don't know, like,
Sorry, this is a
I-
miss on my side.
oh, it's all good. Sometimes we don't get winners.
Yeah.
I really like the rice flavor. It's just
Yeah.
the fizzy part.
Yeah, no, I
um,
get that.
uh,
Sometimes the fizzy works really well, but
Yeah.
this one doesn't work. But one thing that really caught me was that this is Sara Sara Nigori, so it's not really Nigori. Like when we bought this,
Yeah.
there was a bunch of stuff at the base.
Yeah.
So
Little floaty bits.
little floaty bits.
All right. So what are we
But
doing today?
We are going to be talking about foreign influencers in Japan.
Yeah.
Talking about their life in
Konnichiwa,
Japan.
everybody.
Yeah.
This is Austin and Arthur,
Yeah.
two white guys here living in Japan.
Well, yeah. In all fairness, I kind of started this podcast with that idea that we were
Yeah.
going to be having this go towards the American market,
Hmm.
and then all the Americans were like, "There's a billion of you. Who gives a shit?"
yeah,
and
I
then
mean,
we
literally.
pivoted. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think who was the one that suggested this? Was this you that suggested this idea, or was it me? It was like a couple months ago.
I think it might have just been like a conversation
Yeah.
we had, and we kind of just both came to the
Oh, yeah.
conclusion. I think I think maybe that's what it was. But
yeah.
I don't. It's so crazy when you talk about foreign influencers here in
Yeah.
Japan, because it's so crazy how different the markets are
Yeah.
with the Japanese market and the rest of the world,
Yeah.
right? If you think of a foreign influencer from like an outsider perspective, if you're like American or European or wherever, like, and you see foreign influencers living here in Japan, they actually don't go over their daily life.
Yeah.
They go over like the really Japanese things in their life.
like what?
You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you the stereotype influencer thing. It's like this person who's a jet that's living out in the middle of nowhere in Japan.
Yeah.
They live in like a small little house that costs no money.
Yeah.
And they're just like, yeah, okay, well, let me ride my bike to my work. And they're like riding through like a little
The rice fields, the rice
the
paddies.
rice paddies, and like maybe they go past like a really small market, and there's like, oh, all right, my work day's done, and here's my house, and it's like
Yeah.
this tatami house. Like every
Yeah.
room is a tatami room, and like they don't have like doors. They have
Yeah.
like the like,
The shoji. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
screens.
yeah. you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
everything is like, it's like it's just heavily Japanese to
Yeah.
the point where it's just like,
It's like you're almost cosplaying a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, right? It feels like you're really, I don't want to say faking it, because like
Yeah.
these people are still living their lives, but
Yeah.
in a way it feels like faking it, right?
Well, yeah. So one thing that really gets me. So when I think about influencers, foreign influencers in Japan,
Yeah.
trying to introduce Japan to Western audiences,
Yeah.
the first person that comes to mind is this channel Abroad in Japan.
Sure.
It's Chris Broad.
Yeah.
And he moved to Japan
Yeah.
the same year I did.
Okay.
So he came as like a jet, I
Yeah.
think. Let me just bring up a picture of it. Did I lose the screen? I think I lost the screen. No, here we go.
Yeah.
So this guy, Chris Broad, he's a British dude.
Yeah.
And he came to Japan in 2013 when I did. And, now he's like the number one YouTuber about Japan. He's got like multiple millions of people. I
Yeah.
think so 3.3 million subscribers. I know he's got a lot.
That's
But the
a lot.
funny thing is
Yeah.
this is his channel. I'm not going to put on too much details, but
Yeah.
it's funny because he says like, oh, Japan starts here. Let me share with you guys what my life is like in Japan.
Yeah.
But this guy, he doesn't really speak Japanese.
Oh, really?
No. this was actually a really big thing. There's another YouTube channel that I like that's quite conservative and has some spicy topics, so I don't want to mention it here.
Yeah.
But the guy who's doing that channel is learning Japanese, and he used to follow Chris, this guy, a lot.
Yeah.
But there was this video where Chris, like people were calling out Chris saying how you aren't actually integrated into Japanese society.
This is exactly what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
I know. So what was funny though is that he showed how, like, I can't find the specific video, but he wanted to show how much in the culture he was. So he showed a short interview of him interviewing this woman who runs a restaurant or something in Japanese.
Yeah.
And the subtitles on it, when he's speaking Japanese, make it sound like he speaks very eloquently. But his Japanese level is like N4. Like, it's very basic, very grammar.
Wow, okay. So
like,
my Japanese is better than
like,
him.
anata wa itsu kara hataraite imasu ka? You know, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And his partner is not Japanese. But he's here sitting as like, I am here to show you what the real Japan is.
Yeah.
But he doesn't really speak that much.
Yeah, I just personally I find because it's not just people like him, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because I mean he's definitely got like his audience and everything, right? And it's like you have 3 million people following you. You must have something that people are interested in. But like for me personally, I kind of get the ick from that.
Get the ick from that.
I get the ick from that, man, because it's like you see that so much in the foreign community here in Japan, where it's like there's a lot of, here's how I'll describe it.
Yeah.
It's performance lifestyle.
Yeah, performance lifestyle.
It's performance lifestyle. You're not actually doing things that like you want to be doing in your daily life, or that you would see people here in Japan doing in your daily life. You're doing things that you think people want to see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like that. I don't know, dude. I've met a lot of people like that in my experience here in Japan, and not even necessarily famous people, just people moved to Japan for whatever reason, but everything they do is very performance based.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm going to this shrine this weekend, and oh, you're not familiar with this thing? Yeah, it's been in Japan for like 300 years.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like everything about them is just showing like how much Japanese culture they participate in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
well, I mean, so like so if we go a little bit more into this, like let's look at some of this guy, Chris Broad's video. So granted, the screen that I'm actually watching this on is actually quite small.
Sure.
So let's see. Tried Japan's rarest beef.
Yeah.
Or tried Japan's insanely expensive fruit.
Yeah. See, everything's just like sensationalized.
Yeah.
And I get it. It's on YouTube. So there's like, it's like we do the same thing with our thumbnails, right? But it's like everything is just like trying to grab your attention and like really, really zoom in on this. Like, if you talk to the average Japanese person about what's Japan's tiniest car, no one fucking knows.
Yeah, no one knows.
Like, who would know that, right? It's like things like that where I just like, look, if you want to be all about Japanese culture, I think there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think there needs to be some honesty with people who do this, and they need to not say, I'm living the Japanese lifestyle, because you're not.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
you're treating it like Disneyland.
Yeah, I think a lot of, like I said, Chris is not the only person like this, but there are lots of other influencers where they are living in Japan, but it's like they're an eternal tourist.
Yes.
Instead of actually living here. Have you heard of Oriental Pearl at all?
Yes.
Yeah. So I feel like Oriental Pearl is kind of the real deal.
Okay.
I would say, because I haven't seen her stuff in detail. But like, for instance, let me just pause this. I don't want to get a copyright strike or whatever. But so the thing with Oriental Pearl is she's actually fluent in Japanese, and she actually goes out and she talks to people. Oh, why that disappear suddenly? Yeah. Oh, dang it. It just changes. But yeah, so she So she actually like interviews people and talks with people on the street.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And so she's actually getting to know people.
Dude, I don't want to cut you off, but I just want to highlight the difference.
Hey guys, if you've watched this far, you're going to love our Austin and Arthur friends.
In the Austin and Arthur friends, you're going to really improve your English listening, and I mean a lot. As a friend of ours, you will get each episode ahead of time with no ads, so you can watch before anyone else. But not just that, you can ask us questions or leave comments, and we will make a special video each week answering questions and responding to comments. These videos will not be released publicly. They are for friends, members only. It's a great way for you to ask our opinions directly and for us to respond directly. You'll also get listening practice questions and answers that you can check. Answers are for friends, members only. Oh, and anaume mondai mo desu ne. So you can check your listening. But not just that, for each episode, you'll get a list of native phrases we said from the video, along with practice sentences and pronunciation practice to help your speaking as well. You'll also get access to a members-only community where you can talk with us, the both of us. Mainly me, right?
No, definitely not.
This is a great way to support our show, but also get closer to us and improve your English as well. For more information, click on the link in the description box, the gayorang, or go to our website, austinandarthur.com. And so she's actually getting to know people.
Dude, I don't want to cut you off, but I just want to highlight the difference between her thumbnails and the previous guy's thumbnails, right? Before I finish this thought, I want to just compare how many followers does she have?
So she's got 1.4 million.
Okay,
so
she's about half, right?
Yeah.
But still, like pretty good amount, right? But if you look at go back to her thumbnails, right?
Yeah.
Look at all these things right here. These are conversations.
Yeah.
Right? We have, why leave America? I'm talking with this person. Oh, look at this guy. He's native and Japanese.
Yeah.
This person's done with Japan. This person, I'm Japanese now. Like, you're talking about people's experiences.
Yeah.
You're not talking about like some stupid friggin' fact.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, I ate this great food, you know?
Yeah, exactly, right? And I think that is the fundamental difference right there.
Yeah, dude. I love this though. So like, because she's so fluent in Japanese. So
oh, dude.
So read this one. The Matrix broke when she suddenly spoke Japanese. Yeah.
What's it? Is it Longma? What's the guy, the white guy who's completely fluent in Chinese?
I don't know that guy.
I want to say it's a Longma or Shangma.
Okay, I'm going to
Xiaoma.
Okay, I'm gonna look this up. So if I type in, okay, I'm gonna look this up. So
like XOAMA.
XO.
OA.
Okay. Here, let me type this in. Let's just. So he's American?
He's American, but he was born in China and he was raised in China, but then he came back to the States and he's a white guy.
Okay. So is this? No, that's Disney Plus.
No.
American-born Chinese.
No,
that's not gonna work. Never mind. Yeah. So if you find can find out his channel name, just look it up. That's fine.
Let me search this.
Yeah. So it's funny though because like you have kind of like a couple of different genres of.
I spelled it wrong. XIAO.
Xiao Xiao.
Yes, Xiaoma.
Xiaoma. Okay.
That's who it is.
Okay, so Xiaoma.
Dude, so this guy, I mean, obviously he's in China instead of Japan, but like, it's so hilarious because this guy, if you look at pictures of him, he's the most just like generic looking white
Xiaoman.
guy. Xiaoma. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think that's him. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
him.
Him. Anyways, so his whole thing is he goes to like just random restaurants or places in China, and you know the lady will come over and like give him a menu, and it's like, oh, here's an English menu. And then, he takes it and doesn't say anything. And then she'll come back like when he signals he's ready to order and just full on go totally fluent, natural Chinese.
Yeah.
And usually the waitress is like super stunned, like, what is going on?
Yeah, what's going on?
Like, how can this guy speak fluent Chinese?
Dude, I had one of those experiences today, actually. So
Yeah.
today, so my dad and my dad's not here because we both have a cough, right?
Yeah.
I know it's disrespectful for me to not have a mask on, but this is show business. So anyways, so we went to the pharmacy.
Yeah.
And I guess we got some medicine that had like ibuprofen or some sort of like semi-controlled substance or something in it.
Yeah.
Because when we went to the cash register, there was a little sign that on it says, "Are you 18 years of age or older? Have you bought more than 2 of these?" And I was like, both of them were no, right? But it's just a small sign. But when I go
You're
up
not
to
18 years older?
Yes. I'm not 18 years of age or older. But anyway, so I go up there and I pass the woman the medicine and she takes it, and then I can see she's confused. She's like, "Holy crap, I need them to read the sign that's only in Japanese." But they're white. They don't speak Japanese. They can't read Japanese. She starts looking around to like find her supervisor.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, she doesn't even talk to me. She's just like she takes it and is like, she looks at the sign that says the 2 things. She's just like, points. She looks around for her supervisor. And then the supervisor comes over, and then when the supervisor, she's like, she points to the sign. She's like, yomenai desu yo ne. I was just like, yomemasu, 普通に読めます。なんかこれ該当します、該当しない。失礼しました. And then she just does it. But like, there was like a period of like 20 seconds where things just kind of froze. And I mean, maybe this is just like my privilege speaking out because I speak Japanese regularly, but I kind of wish that regardless of how you looked, they would just try it in Japanese first. And then if it doesn't work, then you go to plan B.
Yeah.
Like, I wish you would just say, kore yomemasu ka?
Yeah.
Instead of like freaking out, you know? But like, it's that kind of a thing that this guy has, you know? Like, people are kind of glitching out, like, does not compute.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, that just reminded me of a story, but I'm not going to bring it up.
Oh, is it a bad story?
Well, it's just...
Should we save it for our friends members?
It's a spicy story. No, it was the train story. I can't remember if I talked about the train story. My experience getting a new Teki. And
with the...
I think I talked about it on the harassment episode.
Like the Romaji. Yeah, you talked about that one. Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, so like circling back into the influencer thing, one of the things that kind of really annoys me, that I've seen as a trend, is, do you follow a lot of influencers? Like, okay. So I like to watch people's YouTube channels, because I mean, I just have a lot of spare time, when I'm commuting. Like, I have a 2-hour commute.
Yeah, right.
So I watch a lot of YouTube. Yeah. I watch a lot of YouTube, and a very common trend, I would say, in the past 4 or 5 years, ever since probably COVID, is moving to Japan.
Yeah.
And so a lot of influencers right now are moving to Japan, mostly because it's cheap.
Yeah.
And they don't...
it's 60% cheaper than it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, exactly, right? So they're moving to Japan, but they still live off an American salary.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because they're working for YouTube, right?
Yeah, geo arbitrage.
Right?
Yeah.
And I hate that.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why I hate that. It's because I think a lot of people who do this are moving to Japan not necessarily because they really want to embrace Japanese culture and like kind of integrate themselves.
Yeah.
They're moving here for 2 reasons. First of all, like I just mentioned, is very cheap.
Yeah.
Right? The dollar goes almost double the value here, right? Because I think currently
it's like 160.
Dude, yeah, it's getting real bad with the Iran war and like the oil prices going up.
Yeah, right.
But
invest now.
Oh God, life's getting hard to leave Japan.
I know.
Oh, even going back home.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, so it's super cheap. If you are working off of like an American or European salary.
Yeah.
But then the other thing is kind of circling back to like when we first started showing these YouTube channels, is they just use it for content.
Yeah.
Right? There's a lot of people around the world who are very interested in Japan from a very superficial level.
Yeah.
Right? And what do I mean by that? Well, okay. Samurai, anime, kimono, sushi, like that level.
Yeah.
I would say I'm gonna pull a number out of thin air. This is my opinion. I would say 80% of the people who are interested in Japan are interested in those surface level things and have no interest going any deeper than that. Right?
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because I kind of see myself in that, because what really brought me and really attracted me to Japan was the traditional culture and like the like Bushido samurai, wabi-sabi, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first like came here and I was looking at how my wife lived. Because every morning, what do they eat for breakfast? Toast.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah.
Perfect example, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like everyone's like, oh yeah, miso soup, a salad, like just this really maybe some fish.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, what do most people here in Japan eat? Toast and maybe a coffee.
Yeah.
Maybe some miso soup on the side.
Yeah.
But it's
not really.
Like...
Yeah. But it's just funny because I remember thinking like, man, she's not really Japanese. But like, I'm thinking that about her. Like, how full of myself do I have to be to be like,
that is
oh
funny.
my gosh, she's not Japanese.
Yeah, it's
enough.
it's just so crazy. And like it's you mentioned that like you kind of initially fell into that thing, and I feel like for me I came from the exact opposite. Like I was kind of interested in anime as a kid. I mean, like I watched Dragon Ball and like the Golden Age, like Gundam was cool, right? But it's like what really attracted me to Japan, like I was introduced to Japan when I joined my Japanese class for the first time in high school.
Yeah.
And the only reason I took Japanese was because I thought Spanish was boring.
Yeah, right.
Right? It's like, dude, friggin' half of America speaks Spanish. I hear Spanish all the time. Like, I screw that. I don't want to. Let's try Japanese.
Yeah.
And then like I went on a trip to do study abroad that summer and went to a high school here, and I'm like, dude, people here are super fun. Like, this is really cool, and I like the daily life kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I like the school system and everything. And for me, it's like I just get really frustrated when I see these influencers here where they're just like, look at this rice paddy I live next to. You look at the new kimono I bought.
I have the authentic Japanese experience.
Yeah, and they have all this crap, and it's just like, I don't know. Like I feel the same way about America. You know what I mean? Like, I'll something that really annoys me about like when I'm in the US is when I see people like really, I don't know how to describe it. Like they live these superficial lives. Like there was a person that I was roommates with growing up in college.
You were
growing up and going to college. Yeah. I was roommates with him for a while, and this guy was dirt broke.
Yeah.
Dirt broke. Had a very nice car.
Yeah.
Very nice, like a $30,000 car.
Yeah.
Which is, that might not seem like a lot of money, but for a college student, that's a lot of money,
it's
right?
a lot of money.
Had struggled paying rent
for the car.
No, just rent.
Yeah, like, I know, but because the car.
But yeah. Struggled paying rent every month, and it was just like, this is how I look at those influencers, and I'm not saying they're broke because obviously they're not. But like,
Chris is definitely not
it's just
broke.
like it's all about the image.
Yeah.
Right. It's like, okay, well, I want people to look at me and go, that guy's got a nice car. And it's like, dude, you're fucking broke.
Yeah.
Like, balance your life out. Like, no one cares about this nice car.
Yeah.
And I really feel that way about a lot of these influencers where it's just like, look at these fancy things. And it's like, okay, but who are you?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. So I feel like, so the influencer in Japan living the quote unquote real Japanese life is a performance. That's what we're saying.
It is.
But I see, I think this is just a byproduct of social media too, because if you look at what's happening now in the States, you have different movements where people are basically cosplaying. Like, for instance, you have, with the rise of like feminism, you also have a reaction to that. You have the rise of something called trad wives.
Yeah.
Which, it's funny because, so trad wife stands for traditional wife.
Yes.
But what it is it's these 20-somethings who want to be a traditional wife from like the 1950s or something.
Yep.
And so what they do is they watch old movies or TV shows like Leave It to Beaver to find out like what it was like to be a wife at that time. But they don't understand that was not real life.
No.
So like they wear these sundresses with these aprons and they have like the hairstyle, and they're like, oh, I cook breakfast and lunch for my husband every day.
Yeah.
I make sure my house is spick and span. I make sure I do the laundry every day and all these things. And they show this performance online. And it's funny because so my dad was born in 1955. He had a trad wife for a mom because it was the 50s, right?
Yep.
And it was funny when he looked at that and he looked at them, he said, yeah, no one had moms like that in the 50s.
Yeah.
So it's like this image of, it's not what it really was, but it's this romanticized image that comes out to us. And I think for us, because we've seen what real life is like here.
Yeah.
But like, so for me too, like because I was like one of those, I was like those people, right? Like Japan is like this. Oh, toast for breakfast? That's not real Japanese breakfast.
Yeah.
But after being here for so many years, I'm more and more, it's like, this is going to sound super pretentious or like patronizing, but like Japanese people are just normal people and we all have the same info.
So I came to the same conclusion.
Yeah.
And a big realization point, which for me about this was when I was reading one of my favorite books. I've shilled it a lot. It's Farewell to Manzanar.
Farewell to Manzanar.
I've talked about it a couple times on this channel. But it's one of my favorite books. Basically, it's the story of this girl who goes through Japanese internment in World War II.
In America.
She's Japanese American. Both her parents are from Japan. She's Japanese,
I read this book in middle school.
Yeah, it's such a good book. I could not recommend it enough. It really captures like the whole experience. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that. But there's a big part of when she gets out and she's kind of reflecting on her life as an adult after having experienced all this, and you kind of see her dad go through this like really dark arc in his life. Because he was like interrogated by the U.S. government because
for sure
he was a Japanese national, right?
Yeah.
And anyways, so like the whole thing is when like she's talking about his life and when he first moved to America, and when he first moved to America, his family came from like a samurai family, right? So everyone's like kind of fully embraced into like this bushi code, and like they were really struggling back in Japan because at the turn of the century in the 1900s, samurai were all out of the job.
Yeah, right.
Right. And so a lot of samurai at the time really struggled with like, okay, what am I supposed to do with my life? I don't want to be a merchant. That's so beneath me.
Yeah.
Right. And so he was also struggling with that. So he decided to move to America and just start a new life. Right.
Yeah.
And like he first moved to Hawaii, and then he moved to Seattle. He moved to Seattle and like worked at a farm in Eastern Washington. And like a whole thing for him was like being humble and like still sticking to his Japanese code and not like really embracing America.
Yeah.
And then after World War II and like doing the Japanese internment and being interrogated and everything, he was so desperate to try and prove that he was American that like he would embrace like all of these American cultures and participate in everything American. And you see that a lot in the US, where it's like, especially people who immigrate over to the United States, they enter this kind of like performative phase in their life where there's like, I want to be American. So, we're going to participate in 4th of July. We're going to go to all the local festivals. We're going to hang a flag up in our yard, and we're going to do all these really like things that show that we are true Americans, like that kind of thing. And it's just like, when I look at that and it's like, that's, I don't know, some Americans will actually do that, but that, for me, that's not being a real American.
Yeah.
Right. And when I see people over here in Japan living these performative lifestyles on YouTube, but not always on YouTube, I see people doing this and not even like advertising it. That's just how they live their life. And it just is like, it's less Japanese than someone just coming here and living.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's how I feel.
So I'm kind of curious to hear from you though. So, I mean, this is going to be a whole nother episode, but but give me the Cliff Notes version on, wow, Cliff Notes, man. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Now we have ChatGPT. So
I know, Cliff Notes is dead. So what is a true American? What is a real American? Because you said that performative stuff is not American.
What is a real American? Dude, that is a whole episode. That is, you know what? That's a good segue.
If you guys want to hear our thoughts on that, please leave a comment. And also, I'm kind of curious because we've been talking about foreign influencers in Japan. Do you guys follow any Japanese influencers who've moved to America or to another country? And I'd love to see, we could make a whole other episode where we react to those people too.
Yeah. So, yes. I think that would be kind of cool because I don't really follow any of those channels, but I have looked at them in the past for kind of reasons like very similar to like our discussion here. And it's kind of funny. Like there was a channel that was like van life.
Yeah.
Do you know what van life is? Yeah. And so this Japanese influencer was just like traveling across America in van life, and it was like, this is the true American experience. Like, dude, who the what are you talking about?
Yeah, I know.
No one does this.
I know. That'd be interesting to look at. Yeah. Anyway, so and also, so what we can probably do for that is in our question and answer video that we release for our friends members, we can talk about that. So especially for our friends members, if there's any influencers you follow, let us know because we can probably talk about them in the QA video.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good talking to you. I'll see you next time.
Yep.